Howdy, how's it going? Todd Spears here with my partner Herc Magnus on the other side of my screen as well. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to be bringing on a special guest, special friend, Mr. Brian Anderson, in just a minute. And he is going to give us some good advice, some good training, some good knowledge on some of the things that he is doing to grow his agency. I'm going to leave, I don't want to steal any of his thunder on that part, but he's going to go over some details of what he has going on these days. And, at the end, we're going to, go over what he's got going on here. Don't worry, guys. It's nothing. This isn't going to be, a giant pitch webinar or anything like that. We're just going to try to provide as much value and content and training as we can for free, and then of course offer you an opportunity with very, very, very minimal expense to get some further information on this subject if you're interested in that. We also have a great bonus. We emailed everybody this morning about it, so it's not like I'm telling you something that you don't already know. Hopefully, you received our email around 8 o'clock this morning, kind of detailing what's going on here. But we decided what we also wanted to do is bring Brian on this afternoon and just let him really dive into some details of what's going on, so you guys get a really, really good picture of what we're up to today. So I guess that's all I really have to say. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Brian Anderson now. Brian, I've known Brian for several years now. He's been, if you don't know Brian, he's been in the internet marketing world for many years. He's done a lot of amazing, great things. He runs a very, very big, high-powered agency, digital marketing agency out of Atlanta. And I've had the pleasure of hanging out with Brian a lot over the last year. We're in a group of a collection of guys now, and so we get to hang out and go different places in the world and have a good time, and really talk about things that are helping us grow our business. And so Brian is just a wealth of information. So yeah, turn off the TV and the cell phone and just pay attention here for the next 30, 45 minutes. And then at the end here, we'll get into exactly what we got going on, and then answer any and all of your questions. Herc and I will be in the background as always. And Mr. Brian Anderson, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Todd. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Well, I'm going to mute myself right now and let you take it away.
All right, awesome. Well, Herc and Todd, thank you guys, and it's a pleasure to be here. And like Todd said, both Herc and Todd are in a mastermind group that I've been in for a little over a decade, and Todd and I indeed have had some good times. We were out in San Diego and recently in Barcelona together, and we've done some different strategy calls, just trying to grow our businesses and our agencies, etc. So what I want to share with you guys today is just some straight scoop out of what we're doing at my company. This won't be a real salesy kind of call. So what I would love, there's a lot of you here, what I would really appreciate, man, interrupt, fire off questions. When I'm going through some of it, I'm happy to the best of my knowledge, answer anything that I can. And with Herc and Todd here as well, if it's something that maybe I don't know the answer to, we can always figure it out for you. So this is about you, not about me. And so let me figure out how I can share and really position this. So what I want to tell you is a little bit about myself, and I'm going to be less than 30 seconds. I've got an agency in Atlanta, the suburbs of Atlanta. Like a lot of you, my first love, my first product has been more in the search realm, going back to the mid 90s, predating, all the SEO words and buzzwords. And I did that corporately and then eventually out on my own, like so many others. And then lead gen, and then messenger bots. I actually sold my SEO company in 09 for not as much as I wanted, but I did all right. And like a lot of you, I've got some family, got the kids. I recently had a daughter graduate high school, and I'm active locally in my town. Just to kind of show you that I'm not just some guy on a webinar talking a bunch of schmack. I eventually moved out of my house, even though I had a great home office. I moved out of my house, and I actually have the bottom floor of that building there. We're just around 6,000 square feet for our area, and we've got a good sized team focused 100% on what we're doing on the product side, but we actually do it on the agency side. So by that, I mean search, I mean lead gen, I mean messenger marketing, You can see a few pictures of some of the team. And like I said, we're about a half hour outside of Atlanta. So if anybody here has, maybe in the past, I know if you're working with Herc and or Todd, maybe you're doing some search work. I suspect you may be. Maybe Google My Business on the local side, right? The names change, but the problems remain the same. AdWords, Facebook, all these different things, right? We've all been there. The biggest one that when I chat with different people that I meet over a beer or at dinner or at events, a lot of guys are just trying to figure out how to tie it all together, if I can say that. And I understand why. There's a lot of noise and there's a lot of stuff out there. And truly, there is no single right answer. So what do you do? And one of the things that I wanted to share is I ask myself this every now and then is I'm constantly trying to reinvent who I am, who my agency is, and what I am, because the only thing that really is the same in internet marketing is change, right? It changes all the time. And for instance, if all I did was websites and web design, I'd be viewed as outdated, ineffective, and I probably wouldn't be doing too well from a revenue perspective. That's no insult to anybody, right? That is no insult to anybody that focuses on websites. However, for the vast majority of us, that ship has sailed, right? And you really need to kind of adapt and fit to what your clients want. And that's a big thing I believe in, is I like to analyze trends and opportunities, and then I just pivot, because I don't have all the right answers like everybody else, man. Like I tell Todd in Spain, I said, dude, I screw up as much as the next guy. The key is that you fail fast and you adapt and you make changes. Very, very important. It's really, who survives this business? The ones that can adapt and change and overcome, right? You have to, because the world changes, the internet world changes. So I started thinking in my agency, I was growing stale. The speed of which we were adding clients was starting to change. And I realized I don't want to say we were struggling, but we were beginning the beginnings of a downward spiral from a revenue standpoint. I could see it. I could feel it. It wasn't 100% there, but it was happening. And I said, I got everybody together. So we've got somewhere between 30 and 35 people, if you count the offshore team and then the team here in Atlanta. And we got a few US outsourcers as well. But we got a good sized team. We met on like a big conference call, and we just brainstormed. And I'm going to show you what we came up with. We came up with 3 things. I'm just going to build them out, right? No suspense. What would be the ideal tech or solution that my clients or our future clients would want? I know it needed to use a technology or a platform that they're comfortable with. Right? That was fundamental. This number 2 is a big one. I had to be able to quantify the ROI, the business value. So if I could do that, I knew I'd have something. And then like you guys know this, it's got to be easy. If it isn't easy for the business owner, none of the rest of it matters, because they don't care. They want that Office Depot easy button they could smack, right? So it took me a year. This is beginning in 2017 sometime, this discussion. It took me like a year. And eventually I got to what a lot of the other internet marketers were dabbling in at the time in 17, which was messenger marketing and bots, right? I don't like the word bot standalone. I like messenger bots or messenger marketing. However, I got there maybe a little different than the rest of them. I was doing all this analysis and research because when I wanted to turn our sales machine, I wanted to make sure I was turning in a way that would work. And I started looking at things. This is newer data because I thought it'd be more relevant to you. I had no idea. So last year, this is from the Facebook F8 conference, which happened in April last year, mid-April, I believe. There was 8 billion conversations a month between pages and people. And so this is that conversational marketing. As you guys start to think about the various shifts over time on the internet, you've got inbound marketing, outbound marketing, or should I say outbound first, then inbound. Inbound with stuff like HubSpot and content marketing, SEO, et cetera, right? And then more recently is this shift towards this conversational marketing. So last year, it was 8 billion. This year at the same event, just last month, 20 billion. So it's starting to it's starting to get a little crazy. And some of you may know, you may have been on a webinar with me before. And if so, do me a favor and don't answer if you know the answer, please. For everybody else, if you don't know the answer already, I want you to think about this. As I was making this pivot into messenger marketing, what percentage of local businesses and mid-sized businesses around the world were actually using bots? And this is right now. What do you guys think? If you had to guess a percentage, just fire off a number and we'll see how you guys, where you guys come in at. I like John McDonald said 5. So did Crawford. Pretty good. Steven, you're optimistic, my friend. I love it. 30%, right? 7%, Vixen said, okay. 38, Michael. 6, all right. 1%, John, you're getting there, right? It's a small number, y'all. So 1%, John Cunningham said. 9, it's all over the board. You know what? I love it. 4, I love it. Yeah, yep. Tony just said 0.45%. So let's see. This is webinar math. It by no means is 100% statistically accurate. But if I averaged out some numbers on how many small businesses were worldwide. I took the number of bots according to Facebook, the most recent release. This is from Facebook on 300,000, divided it out, and you find about 0.002 of 1%. Think about that. Robert with 0.03, it's even smaller, you guys. So it's so small, yet it's being pushed by this little player on the internet called Facebook, right? So it's unbelievably small. And it feels, I know we live in this weird bubble sometimes of internet marketing where everything feels like it's old. You hear about something for a couple months on a bunch of marketers' emails, and now you think it's been saturated, but we are so wrong. I'm going to give you some facts you already know. As of July last year, the biggest network on the planet, Facebook. It's still Facebook. I don't have a new chart. But what's intriguing to you should be this. Their sister properties, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, and Instagram, grabbed right after YouTube 3, 4, and 6. So we know Facebook's dominant, right? Paul, there's a way to know, and let me take that during Q&A, but I got the number of bots actually from Facebook. So, all right. Now, what's interesting, and I think a lot of you guys will agree with me, is that Facebook and the affiliated kind of usage, Instagram, their various properties, it's like an addiction. People are on here multiple times a day. I know I am. I suspect many of you are as well, right? So you start thinking about that. And we already know that Facebook dominates the landscape, right? We get that. But I did not know this, and I'll be candid. I did not know that Messenger, Facebook Messenger, now I use it. I actually prefer it to Skype now. It took me a while, but I do prefer it. But Messenger is as big as Instagram and Twitter combined. Think about that. Messenger is as big as Instagram and Twitter combined. Now, I don't know how old everybody is. Find your age. And I've got a new slide coming for 19, I think, next month, and I'm excited to see it. But look at this. As of last year in the US, the youngins, 18 to 45, right? Over 80% usage rate. But fine, for those of you a little bit older, I'm in the 45 to 54 category, 73%, right? Crawford City's 58. So Crawford, last year, 67% in your age group. This isn't internet marketers. Internet marketers, the number would be in the 90s, right? This is internet users. Joe Blows, average people. Even 65 to 75 is like half last year. So what we have is this internet population that is very, very comfortable with Messenger. They're all over the Facebook properties all day, every day. Now, at the same time, we have businesses spending billions to generate leads. I don't need to prove that to you. You guys all know that. We've been dabbling with this, most of us, for 5, 10, maybe 20 odd years, right? So businesses are spending a ton of money to do leads. And I found this study. This is dated, and I have a newer stat in a minute, but you're going to crack up. In 2011, Harvard Business Review did this study on the response time to online leads. It was 42 hours. Doesn't surprise me in the least. And when you went from 5 to 10 minutes and they're steady, the ability to qualify a lead dropped 400%. The ability to kind of get somewhere with that lead, right? So that was 2011. Let's fast forward a little bit. Drift did a study. I don't have a new Harvard one yet, but Drift did a study. They found that 90% of the companies did not respond in 5 minutes, and 58% of the companies didn't respond to their online leads at all. Pretty comical, right? They didn't respond at all. So I don't know what to say about that. I think we know this, though. This is fundamentally one of the big challenges. Let me give you some examples. This is my younger brother has an AC business, and these are a few I had in an old PowerPoint, but I wanted to underscore the point. Look at the value of this lead. I will call tomorrow, but I need a service call for what seems to be a bad capacitor. This guy's diagnosing his problem, right? You've done work on me in the past. Now, my brother never responded to this lead, ever. Here's another one, just from May 6th. We left a voicemail. We had an old unit, blah, blah, blah. No response. No response in Facebook at all to these. And another one. You guys, my brother is not unique to this problem. My brother is not unique. So you got businesses not responding, consumers wanting to message or shoot in a message to get a response, right? And there's a disconnect, and that disconnect creates what I believe is a monster opportunity. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that right now. So everybody chuckles at me. For anybody, I don't know, 40 or older, how many of you were online in the days of America Online, right? When they were sending CDs out by the millions, right? In the mail and magazines. How many of you were online in the early 90s pre-graphical web? How many of you guys were out there? Oh yeah, Vixen, John Crawford, yep, all of you guys. All right, so indulge me. Margaret, yep, okay, indulge me, you guys. Remember the day, nobody had a website, right? We would all get online in this AOL. Now, I was in my early 20s, so that basically meant I was invincible, right? And nobody had a website. And back then, when websites did come out, SEO wasn't a word, promise. All it was, though, was your URL name and your site name, your title tag, right? And when people would describe where they wanted you to go, I'm going to give you a real world example. So, Margaret, if you remember the website yahoo.com, right? The search engine predates Google. It was like an info property of the highest order in the early days. If I wanted to tell you about that, I would call you up on the phone, not on the cell phone because nobody had them, right? I would call you on my landline. If I'm lucky I had a cordless phone, I would call you up and I would say, Margaret, I need you to go to HTTP. Okay, wait a minute. Yep, HTTP, then the colon, like, yeah, the 2 dots. Yep. And then I need you to do the slash that faces to the right. It's down at the bottom of the keyboard. Put that in. And then I would wait a second. And then I would go type this in, Margaret. Go www. And I'm going to wait a second. And then I said dot. So www dot. Yeah, that's the period down near the bottom, right? So I'm going to say that. And then I'm going to say Yahoo, because I didn't know how to say it. Yahoo. So that's YAHOO. Then I want you to do the dot again, and then type this in right into that little thing on the top of AOL, the browser they call it. Type in COM for com. So that's www.yahoo.com. See, because back then, in this golden day of marketing, this is when you could sell these websites, which were pieces of junk, really, front page based sites for several $1,000s because nobody had a site at all, right? Crawford's laughing hard at me, but I promise you, hey, for everybody there, straight up, tell me this is not true. This is true. For everybody that was around then, and it's not all of you, you guys know the truth. I did not make that up. That could have been any number of you telling that story to any one of your friends. A lot of you, oh yeah, true, right? Straight up, this is how it went. And back then, when I got out of college in 92, and I needed to make some money because I had a little bit of student loans. Not too bad because it wasn't a total rip back then. I owed like $6,000, $7,000 in loans. That was for 4 years. And, right. So I started moonlighting making websites. Now, I actually, even today, have zero design and graphical skill. And thank God for template type programs like back then, a front page and, other things that have come out over the years. But you could sell these websites to businesses and get paid money, good money. And then over time, the value of what you could get paid started to drop. And now websites have become a commodity, right? Fair enough. Easy. Now, I want you to think, I don't know how much you guys are making in your business right now, and I bet it's all over the board. I want you to think, what would it mean for you to add a new client each and every week? Just one. I'm not looking for rocket science. I'm not looking for one a day or any kind of magic. If you could do one deal a day, no, one deal a week, right? That's all you did, right? What would it mean for what you're doing in your business? Somebody said, it was Crawford, he said life-changing. Wait a minute, who said they did not expect to see me here today? See, I have good friends, Mr. Santucci. Ken is one of my oldest internet marketing friends and a super nice guy. He bought me a t-shirt in like 2010 or 11 that I still wear today. Thank goodness I could still fit in it. And it's just an awesome shirt from the beach where he lives in California. But Ken, one customer a week. Let me explain. You think back 5 months ago. So have you been able to increase your income 5 times? None of this 10X, Grant Cardone, good for him. I'm just talking about walking, not running, right? I'm going to show you exactly what you have to do. Exactly. Most important, though, is this one thing. You got to block, you got to tackle. What I mean by that is you can't play with toys. You got to leverage the core parts of your business. Let me show you. I'm going to use a conservative number of like $750 a client. So if you use the bot, I'm using bot. So if you use the bot and you got a deal about $750 each time recurring, that could be an SEO deal, a lead gen deal. It could be any number of things. I don't really care. But the key is you got to get one every week. One. Your sole goal is one a week. Now, some of you may say 10,000 a month is great. That not right around month 3 when you hit 9. I would argue it's about 5 months because when you hit 15, you got a grand or two of expenses. But if you're really taking home about 12, that's about 145, 144,000, right? You're 145ish, 150K. That's when it changes everything. Thank you, Vixen. That's when it changes everything. But it's this easy. It is just a deal a day. Right? A deal a day? No, I told you it didn't have to be that hard. One deal a week. And in 5 months, you've changed everything about where you are today. I'm going to give you some examples, right? I told Todd actually, and then Herc on a call yesterday that I'd share some results on a case study I did. This is from Thanksgiving. And I scraped a bunch of emails. Not very hard, doesn't matter how. I just did, right? There's lots of tooling. I bet you guys have them. And I sent an email 4 days in a row, only changing the subject line. And let me give you some of the results I got. All I did, and I did it over the Thanksgiving holiday. So if you're not in America, that means I did it from Wednesday to Sunday, 3rd or 4th week, usually of November. Most of the U.S. kind of blows off Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving. My goal is to do this. I wanted to grow my subscribers. Now, this is in my bot, right? Because I am using a bot, right? And I'm going to tell you more about the bot thing in a minute. And what I did is I sent an email where the call to action was real easy. Reply to the email or click on this link, which took them into the bot. Cool. That was it. And my engagement was either a click or an open, and I was tracking that kind of stuff. I got tons and tons of messages. This is a painter. Let's set up a call to talk. Oh, why is it not showing? Come on. Come on. You can do it. We'll go to webinar delay. Hang on one sec. I see it. There we go. All right. So we got a painter. Let's set up a call for next week. This, I did some painters too. So another painter wanting to talk, Clifford Watson from Champion Curb Painting. Another painter, must be some painter emails I sent out. This sounds interesting. You know, it was a bad time for that guy. This guy was interested at a Des Plaines. I don't even know where that is. So here's another one in the Phoenix area, looking for more information, right? Do you do residential work? Wait, where do you get the phone number, right? Boom. I would like to discuss your proposal. Guys, I just had all these messages. CPAs, it's one of my favorite niches, CPAs. We talk about that some other time, but this one I shot out. This is one over Christmas. And the guy wrote back, let's talk on January 3rd. And we went back and forth with this guy. And long story short, it took till March to get connected, because in the real world, just because they respond doesn't mean they raise their hand and want to give you money, right? But, you know, eventually he raised his hand and wanted to give us money, and we got there. And he's sharing all the kind of stuff he's wanting to do and how excited he was. Now, let me show you some examples. I told you the email was sending people into the bot, right? So let me show you. I'm not talking about gigantic numbers, you know, thousands. I'm talking about 5, 10, 15, right? So I had 6 roofers in this example opt into the bot. So what does that mean? That means they got my email, they clicked on the link, they went into the bot, and then they engaged in some way. Now, out of those 6, because I know you're underwhelmed, right? You're thinking, yeah, Brian, not so cool, right? Out of those 6, 2 wanted to speak right away, because the goal of the bot was to drive them to want to have a conversation with me, right? Here's another one. Plumbers. I only got 3, but one of them wanted to talk right away, right out of the email. Now, you saw some responses back to the email, right? They just want to talk. HVAC, I had 7. 4 of these guys wanted to talk immediately. Think about that. I sent an email. They go into this bot where they're communicating with the bot, and they're given different chances to raise their hand and say, yeah, I kind of am interested. I'd like to talk to you more, right? And they're raising their hand. CPAs, I had 4, 3 of which wanted to talk, 2 of which I believe bot. I ended up from one email with 20 decent prospects and 11 hot leads wanting to talk. And I'm not the best salesperson. I usually close 1 out of 6. So the odds are pretty high when I saw those numbers that I was getting at least 1 deal and maybe 2. And if you remember back 10 minutes ago, I said 1 deal a week will keep everything working right. So that's a little real world example. And then at that point, you do what you do. If you're doing SEO or lead gen, that's great. Now, why does it seem to work so well? Why is this whole messenger thing working so well? You know, what makes it so effective? What is it about it that makes it so effective? Is it because it's new? I don't know. Think about this. How do you decide who you're going to trust, right? There's so much spam out there nowadays, right? How do you decide if you're going to trust somebody? How do you know if a message is real? It's like when you look at reviews and you're like, oh, that's fake, right? How do you decide? Now, there's a reason, right, that we trust who we trust. We know them in real life. We speak to them regularly and through trusted channels. We've invited them at some level to communicate with us. There's this exchange of information. What I mean by that is it's not a one-way dump, right? It's a back and forth. It's conversation, and that facilitates the trust. what's cool about what we're doing with bots is they're just so I can't underscore enough for you how hot it is. It's like a dream product, and I hesitate to use words like that, but like this fancy purse that I know all the ladies like, or back in the day those Air Jordans, or I know these are designer dress shoes for women in the middle. I couldn't tell you about them. You know, the one that cracks me up the most is when you see people camped out. Look, I use iPhones, but I will fully acknowledge they are not as cutting edge as a lot of the Android phones. But I promise you this, only Apple has people camping out. Camping out. They have people camping out to buy their product. They don't have any trouble moving their units. Look at the growth in their number of units and sales from the first iPhone to the what was 2018, the X or XS, right? People literally line up around the block to get one of these things. You see the employees in blue on the picture in the top right? They're protecting the door from the onrush of customers. It's crazy. So the key, my friends, is to know what's hot, follow the trends, know how to exploit it. You got to know what's working. One of my big things, and I'm Todd and Hercar as well, this is very important to me, is measuring. If it's measurable, you track your progress, right? You weigh in on a diet, you count your clicks, you monitor your traffic or your hits to your website, and then you make adjustments. And what do? You do what works and you stop what doesn't work. Easy. Now, what's happening though is email is becoming the new snail mail for so many people. You're getting opens in the first 2 days, right? And a lot of people, roughly half, say they're only going to read the subject line to decide if they're even going to open an email. That's just what happens right now. So let me show you the difference with bots. This is an example. These are some of my own bots. These are with clients. You can see the number isn't overwhelming. There's only 211 in there. You see that I had an open rate of 99.5%. So about 209 of the 211 opened. And you see the bottom one, I had 100% open rate out of 339 in that bot. I had 393 in another one, 100% open rate. 100% open rate out of 145. I promise you, I've been doing email marketing since the beginning. Never have I had 100% open rate ever. With messenger marketing, you're going to consistently be in that 80% or higher. All of you. I don't care if you're brand spanking new today. It allows you to build a targeted list. When you have that targeted list, you guys, you've heard it. I'm not going to preach it. When you have a list, you're beginning to build that asset to turn into revenue, right? To really land clients and monetize. The goal is to steadily grow. Here's a screenshot from last year I had around. I'm steadily growing my list, right? In my agency. The more people you get on your list, the better. I mentioned open rates, right? I mentioned them. Let me give you an example. If the average email open rate is 22.87, which I do not believe, that's just this infographic, I think it's lower than that. The average open rate, according to Facebook, was 84.3% with Messenger. And if you look at a click-through rate in the 3% range for email and 28% for Messenger, we're talking about 9 times better, right? 9 times better. All right. When you crush it with numbers like this, right? When you start to crush it with these kind of open rates, that's how you can really make this thing work. You send 116, you get 69 to open and you get 18 clicks. That's real, guys. That's real. This is all real stuff. So what I want to share with you right now, and I'm going to be quick and to the point, and then we're just going to take some questions like Todd and Herc said at the beginning. I want to show you how you can capitalize on this to change your agency, to change how you're making money online. It's really easy, and it's actually quite inexpensive. So Todd and Herc, with your permission, I'm just going to highlight this, and then we're going to take some questions, you guys. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. So some of you have heard about it. I saw the chatter in the chat, and I thought we'd just wait to the end if that's okay. So Autopilot Agency, is I call it an information product. It's more of a blueprint course that comes with a bot. Because I think if you don't have a bot in your agency, you're making a mistake. And when I say bot, I'm being lazy, and I'm speaking about messenger marketing specifically. A messenger bot for your agency to help you build a list, help you nurture, help you engage, and eventually to help you get the deal. So the link's at the bottom of the page, and we'll talk about it in a minute. But in Autopilot Agency, our core offer is the exact bot we're using in our agency, right? I thought that would be useful to so many of you. It doesn't matter what you're selling. Doesn't matter at all. What matters is, right? What matters is that you have a bot and you monetize, you build a list and you can monetize it, right? All right. All right, Paul G, great question. Let me come back to it, okay? And somebody says, well, Brian, how does it work? How many of you are old enough to remember those books when you were a kid, like the Choose Your Own Adventure? You'd pick one option and you'd go down a different path than if you picked the other option. And that's kind of like a bot. It's like you go down this rabbit hole, so to speak, this whole path of options and choices based on your first choice. Think of it like a website that lives inside of Facebook, and it auto answers and handles comments and things like that on the fly. That's a bot in its nutshell, you guys. And it branches. Thank you, Crawford. It branches out, right? And you can do different things. You can highlight what you do at your agency, right? You can have all this messaging so that when somebody connects, they're going to engage at their own level, right? And it doesn't matter what you do. You may be doing search or Facebook or LinkedIn or SEO. It does not matter. Messenger marketing. What happens is you've got this flow that comes off the bot. So now you know that John Smith came to your bot and he immediately dialed in on SEO services and he's clicking all around. And at some point in the interaction, he was given the chance to say, hey, I want to talk to somebody. And John didn't take that. That's okay. But Jill came next, and Jill was in there. She was looking at, let's say, SEO services again, but Jill right away wanted to talk to someone. Cha-ching, right? Cha-ching, right? Next. So you're then going to be able to follow up with these people. You're going to be able to send them messages where you get these kind of open rates, and you're able to drive them to take an action of some type, right? Which there's a number of actions you can do. It doesn't matter. Maybe you're highlighting where you're located, or you want them to schedule an appointment with you, right? Any number of things. We've got a lot of cool stuff built in. And when you do this, right, what's super cool about it, hey, and I want to put that link in the chat, you guys, real quick, so you can, Todd and Nick put together what I consider a fabulous little bonus package. You got to see this, but I want to stay focused, not on the bonus right now, but on the bot. And as we talk through this, right? All right. As we talk through this, you're going to realize the advantage of having a bot means this thing is any marketing you do. I don't care if it's on your website. Now, most websites get a very low response rate to their opt-in form, right? It's really low, super low. I promise you, when I put my messenger bot in a form of a chat widget on my website, it went up to like 15, 18%. So out of every 100 visitors, I'd get 15 to 18 people engaged with the bot. Now, guess what happens? Who remembers what happens when these 15 to 18 people engage with my bot from the website? What happens? Remind me. Yes, you're right. You can target them. And you know what? You can retarget them. You can follow up. Exactly. It's cash flow. It's immediate. When they click, they join your list. You just build a list. How many of you would say that on any given day, you're adding new local businesses to your list who may want to hire you to pay you money? Be honest with yourself and me right now, and I won't call any names out. Give me a yes if you think you're adding new businesses every day, and a no if the answer truthfully is maybe I'm not doing that yet. And that's okay, but it'll help you, right? We get a mix. We got a mix, a couple yeses, a lot of nos. And that's normal, right? It's very normal. So we're going through this. You can see all this back and forth, this conditional logic based on what they do, different actions happen. So what's cool is you now know what they're interested in. They're engaged, and some of them are going to raise their hand and say, yes, please. Yes, please. So with Autopilot Agency, what's super cool is I'm giving you the bot we're using in our agency where we've built like 40-something hundred businesses in our list. And that generates the deals that we sell every week, comes right out of the bot. But more than just a local bot, right? For my agency, I've put together what I like to call the straight scoop. How to price it, how to package, what you can sell and deliver, right? From a bot standpoint for your clients. Now you can combine this with maybe something you're doing on the lead gen or search standpoint. Maybe you're doing something with video. It doesn't matter. But I've netted it out in a way on how to get clients, how to duplicate what we're doing, I don't mention it in here, but I have got a good little training on Facebook ads. Very, very easy, 15 minutes, and you could be duplicating what we're doing, getting new clients for $5 or $10 a day. And then we put together a Facebook mastermind with some of my team. And that's my tech team, my customer service team. And I've got two great guys that I'm working with on the project. They're project partners, Nick Ponte and Tom Gaddis. Super guys that walk the walk. They got their own agency out in Maui. And just good dudes. So at the end of the day, we put this community together. We put this bot together that you can leverage and put into your business at a fraction of what you would pay me to build it for you, right? A minute fraction, like 1%. And at the end of the day, I'm giving you a little extra help because you're here with Todd, with Herc. I'm giving you some proven emails. Somebody said, Brian, what about those emails? I'm going to give you the exact emails that I send, the exact subject lines. This is special. This is not part of the course. Nobody else gets this but you guys. And why is this important? Because if you want to know the honest to goodness truth, I send emails, I run Facebook ads every single day. This grows my bot. This gets responses, and net results in new deals for my agency. It can be the exact same thing for you. The world's a very big place, and I'm talking about sending a couple hundred to 1,000 a day. I don't think I have a corner on the market by any means, but you're able to now leverage this marketing bot that you're picking up, pixelscout.io/app, and you're able to build your list. All you that said no, you're going to nurture, you're going to follow up, you're going to look like $1 million as you slowly drive them towards buying from you when they're ready, right? That's the important part, when they're ready. All right, so a lot of you are probably asking yourself, and I'm going to do something extra that I hadn't even told. I think I told Herc, but not Todd. Let me explain, you guys. So what's going to happen when you get all these people in your bot? Let's say you get 114 people in your bot. Best answer wins. What happens, you guys? What happens when you get 114 in there? And maybe a few raise their hand, but what do you do after the fact, right? After the initial rush? What do you do with those 114 people? Help me out here. You follow up. Dennis is right? You can offer your other products and service. You market to them. Absolutely. Hoskins is right. Follow up. Now, you're going to want to do it in the bot because they're already in your bot list, right? But rather than you reinvent the wheel, I put something together. This is the extent of my graphics is finding really stupid images and memes online and posting them. This is it. So I promise to skip this one, y'all. So this is what I did for you guys. And this is only available right now here. And I mean that. It is truly only available right now here. So I created a bonus with 5 different follow-up flows. One designed for your website. So when you have that chat on the website, you gotta know what it says. It has to have that back and forth conversation. You don't have to think about it because I already did it for you. I've got a review campaign, a Facebook campaign, a website lead campaign, think of it like lead gen, and then an SEO campaign. And all this is after the fact, you push a button, bump, and this campaign goes out to those 114 people, and God willing, some amount of them are going to raise their hand and they're going to say, yep, I'd like a call or email me some more info or whatever. And that, my friends, is how you build your business one client a week, week after week, without stressing your life, without changing what you're doing as you're growing your revenue each and every week. So this is custom only today with Pixel Scout, with Todd, with Herc. And I want to thank you guys, right? Sorry, Vixen. I want to thank you. But hey, Vixen, we love you anyway. You hit me up in the group and I'll, since you're a customer of Todd and Herc's, I'll look out for you. So pixelscout.io/app. Not only will you get this bot for your agency at a fraction, I'm talking 1% of what I would charge to build it for you, right? And I don't care if you use the bot and somebody asks, what about Segmate or ManyChat? You can use the product of your choice. It's your agency, not mine. If you have Segmate, I'd recommend using it. If you have ManyChat, then I would use the one you have. If you have none of them, right, I can give you some guidance and training. I promise you, though, the key is that you do this, that you take my bot, you get it up and running, right, boom. You then build your list, follow my step-by-step system, start building that subscriber list, and then work towards, I don't want you to overwhelm yourself. I want one deal a week. You do that week after week. It's like when you got to lose a lot of weight. You don't want to think about losing 72 pounds. You want to think about losing 2 pounds this week and 2 pounds the next week. And then you just build on it. And that's what we want to do. And as you grow that list, I don't want you to think about what you got to say to them. So I made it as easy as I could, only right here, right now, today. So Todd, Herc, I want to tell you guys both thank you for letting me come on the call and sharing this with everybody. And you guys, I guess I should tell you, it's the price. It's less than the cost of pizza for me and my kids. Now, I have 4 kids, so it's not a cheap pizza. However, this isn't going to set you back, like Todd said at the beginning of the call. And it's designed to be affordable, yet effective no matter what you may be selling in your agency. So Todd and Herc, thank you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, right on. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, man. That was great. I think everybody gets the real big picture now if they haven't already about bot marketing. I know Herc and I did, mostly Herc, I should say, did a training on bots and how we use them in our business and how important we feel they are as well. And your numbers just jumped off the screen at me, like we're seeing the exact same thing when we're doing bot marketing as well. So we really encourage all of you that are out there now, doing these kinds of things. It's vitally important now that you gotta roll with the times. And we know for a fact, and we've said it over and over again, that bot marketing is where it's at. Email is a slowly dying animal. Still necessary, of course, but when you're marketing, as Brian talked about in the beginning, one to many, there's just nothing out there right now that compares to the amount of engagement you get on the bots as opposed to email. And yeah, he's made a great deal for us. We've talked to Brian over the last few days and got him to throw in some other cool bonuses for all you guys for jumping in on this with us. If you'll go to that page now, I don't know if Herc, do you want to hop on the screen now and show them that page exactly and answer any questions you have about the bonuses that we're offering, the Pixel Scout credits and things like that. There's a nice video that Herc put together last night, and like I said, we emailed everyone this morning and directed you to this page so you could kind of get an idea of what this is all about and how important it is there. So Herc, I'll let you take it away right there and explain to them a little bit more about it. If you unmute yourself.
Jesus. He's hiding out, man, from the fires.
See,
I knew it. I knew it.
If I could show you guys my camera right now, you would not believe how black it is in my house. We literally are at full black now. We have to turn the lights on.
Wow. Man, Herc, it's a little surreal, and I know it's scary. It's funny on a call when we were not there, but it's scary as all get out, man.
You know, it's okay for us because we know like the fires they're a long way from where I live, but it is just nutball here, and it's getting worse. Like when this webinar started, it was bad. Now it's just like ridiculous. So, anyways, sorry guys to get off the topic here. So the number one thing I want to say to you guys is everything that Brian put together for you in the special bonuses, plus the actual core product and training is 27, no, it's up, what is it, $28 or $29 right now? I know the price is rising very incrementally. It's less than $30 what we're presenting to you guys today. And that's why Todd said, you know, it's not going to be a huge pitch fest. And the reason why is because, I mean, we're going to give you the training. We want to show it to you. It fits completely well with what you guys are doing, and it's less than 30 bucks. Right? So it's not a huge investment, but you're getting the local autopilot agency, or sorry, the autopilot agency core. You're getting Brian's additional bonuses that are specific to Todd and I, and then the bonuses that Todd and I put together basically are more Pixel Scout credits. And there's a bit of a division here. Some people own Pixel Scout, some people don't. Okay, because we mailed. That's my dog. If you're listening for all that clicking, we mailed people that were on the Pixel Scout group, and then we mailed all our past customers as well. So we basically have two bonus packages, one for people that don't have Pixel Scout, one for people that do have Pixel Scout. So it's pretty simple. If you buy the autopilot agency and you own Pixel Scout, we'll give you 50 credits. Okay, and right now inside of Pixel Scout, as an owner, you can buy those 50 credits for $37. If you buy their OTO1, we'll give you 75 additional credits. If you buy their OTO2, we'll give you 100 more additional credits. Now, if you don't own Pixel Scout yet, okay, what we'll do is if you pick up Autopilot Agency, we'll give you a light Pixel Scout account, not the upgraded one, but we'll give you a light Pixel Scout account with 30 credits in it, okay? And that right now is for sale on the homepage for $47. So for anyone that owns Pixel Scout that's looking at this thinking, why does these guys get a better deal, like a $47 value versus $37 value? Well, you're getting more credits, guys. Plus you already have Pixel Scout, and you're obviously getting more credits being that you already own Pixel Scout because you're already members versus the guys who don't own Pixel Scout. So we're trying to be as fair as possible for everyone. Now, I'm also seeing people that are saying, I bought this prior to this webinar, possibly from another affiliate. And we knew that we would probably run into that situation as well. But one thing we cannot do, guys, is we can't give you a bunch of free credits because you purchased from somebody else. There's no, you guys know that Todd and I are an affiliate for Brian and Tom and Nick. We do get a commission for you guys picking up that product. And that's what helps us pay for the credits. So if you guys bought it from someone else and want the credits from Todd and I, that doesn't really do anything for us. So what we've decided to do actually 2 seconds ago is give you guys a coupon. So let me go into the members area, and I just want to show you guys what you can do. We're going to give you a coupon. I'm going to pop this in the chat bot right now. Okay, Autopilot is the coupon you can use. And what we'll do for everyone else that wants more credits, but bought this from, bought Autopilot Agency from someone else, but still loves our bonus, we'll discount our credit packs for you guys, okay? In the wrong account here, so let me log out really quickly. That coupon, Autopilot, will be 50% off the credits, okay? So let me just show you. There we go. Here we go. Okay, so I'll go to use Pixel Scout, and I'll show you guys how to enter that coupon there. And remember, this one is for guys that bought off someone else and feel like, well, I really wish I didn't buy from them. We don't want you to go ask for a refund so you can buy from us. That's not how we work. You guys bought from someone, they made the sale, they deserve that sale, but we will give you guys that like our bonus. If you go to shop, okay, here's your credit packs. If you go to, and I did it for all three, okay? So if you go to buy now, okay, make sure you're logged in first, and then you enter this coupon right here. We'll knock 50% off. Have a coupon, boop, Autopilot, apply. Okay, it knocks it down 50%. So that's the absolutely most fair that we can be, because we know a lot of people, like Todd said, we jumped on kind of late. And we want to be fair to everyone. We want everyone to have an opportunity. Like you got involved with Autopilot Agency, and we think that's great. We know it's going to benefit you in Pixel Scout, but if you bought from someone else, here's a way to still kind of take advantage of getting pixels, even though our bonus doesn't really apply to you since you bought from somebody else. So hopefully that helps a few people. The other thing I want to show you guys in relation to bots, and I think everybody needs to sign up for this. I want to show you just one example of something I came across a while ago. And this is called Musician Life. So this guy was advertising this page on Facebook using Facebook ads, and he was targeting musicians. So guys like myself, you know, who are either past musicians or whatever musicians. And he was saying, you know, here's a new way to use the new age of music, because the music industry is so broken compared to what it used to be. But here's a new way to use current trends and sell your music online in 2019, because things have changed so much. So come and sign up for my free course. Now, let me show you what happens, guys. Really, really pay attention here. And I even want you to take this link. I'm going to pop this link in the chat box, because I want you guys to sign up. We don't get anything. I don't want you to buy anything here. I just want you to sign up to go through the bot, okay? Because I want you to see a really good example of this. It's probably one of the best pieces of marketing using a bot I've actually ever seen. So Facebook ad leads to a landing page, and then he has a video talking about his course that'll help you to sell music. And you guys might be thinking, well, I don't give a shit about music. But remember, this isn't about music for you guys. This is about learning how to use bots, okay? So he asks for an email submit, and then when you submit your email, this is the first page he takes you to, right? His thank you for signing up. Well, before we get started, make sure you receive each training video and don't miss out. Please click on the Keep Me Updated button below to receive them on Facebook Messenger. And we all know, guys, this is subscribing to a bot, right? And then, of course, if you don't use Facebook, he has that too. So I'm going to do this live here. So I'm going to say Keep Me Updated to show you guys how this looks, okay? And then right away in my Facebook, here he is. His name is Dave Days. Welcome, Herc. Stoked to have you on board. He starts messaging me, right? And he sends me a link. I've already gone through this, so that's why you're seeing it. But it starts right here. Welcome, Herc. Stoked to have you. If you ever want to unsubscribe. So he's doing everything very, very, what's the word? He's compliant, right? To tell people right away how to get off the bot, stuff like that. So he's very responsible. You should have already been directed to the first Training Buddy video, but in case you missed it, here it is. So watch video 1. Now this whole bot, now when you click on video 1, it takes you to this page, and you can see there's 3 more lessons coming, but you can't access them right now, right? So then you can watch this message, you can leave comments below, and look at this, guys, look at this. 528 comments on the first video. There's tons of engagement going on. There's a little bit of dev issues here, it's all squeezed, but the bot messages from this guy take you through every day, and I can show it to you. So they take you through every day, each of the videos. So he's following up, and then on the final day, he sells a $1,000 accelerator program to take his course all the way, right? But everything is bot driven, messenger bot driven. And the reason why is what Brian showed you earlier on the webinar. Bot open rates are literally, they blow everything else in the industry out of the water. Todd and I we've done so much work on email servers, and I've said this before on other webinars, and you guys have probably already seen this, but for those of you that don't know, we used to be on Aweber. We started getting deliverability issues, so we moved everything over to another company called MailerLite. We set up custom IPs, we set up reverse RDNS records, SPF records. We did all this work to improve our email deliverability, and we tripled our deliverability on email. We went from an average open rate of 10% to 30% by doing all this advanced email configuration and using our own servers on another autoresponder. 30%. Our average open rate in a bot is 90%, triple the triple. We tripled twice by moving to bots. So I just wanted to show this to you guys, because I just think that if you go through it, use an email that, it's a throwaway email, it doesn't matter. Sign up for this bot, go through, watch the messages and interact with the messages that come through the bot, and just prepare to be blown away at how good this little 21-year-old kid has put together this system and is driving it by bots. And it actually doesn't surprise me at his age, because he's growing up in an age, we grew up through email and like snail mail to email. And I love, Brian, that you said that email is becoming the new snail mail. I'm going to use that because it's so absolutely true. Email is just dying. Bots are just starting. So this I wanted to show to you guys to really, really look at everything. So that's really all I wanted to say. I will put, well, I'll show you some bot stats if you want. You guys have seen Segmate. So you guys, we sent out a bot announcement today. So I haven't even looked at this, but I'll look live with you guys. I might put my foot in my mouth here, but I just don't think I will. Let me go to my bots. Okay, and let me show you the open rate I got for sending everyone an email today, or a bot message, a message marketing saying that Brian's coming on to chat. So let's look at our stats. And we only sent this at 2 hours ago. Okay. Nice. 57% opened within the first 2 hours, 38% clicked in 2 hours. You won't get this in an email ever. No matter how long out you are, like 2 days later, 3 days later, you'll never get this. And this is only 2 hours out. So I really wanted to show you guys that. Bots are huge. You can see we're starting to go more and more into bots and messaging and stuff like that, guys. It's just a huge thing. It's a huge part of your business. So if you guys pick up a $27 course where Brian's going to literally give you the templates of how to help you automate selling to your agencies, I think it's just a no-brainer to go and pick that up, and then adding in our bonuses where we're going to give you the money that you're going to spend to buy the $27 course. We're going to give you back in credits. It's just, I mean, everybody should really take this. There's no real financial commitment here. There's only stuff to learn and do. So that's really all I wanted to show you guys. Definitely sign up for this, guys. Go through this and watch it. Listen, I've been doing internet marketing for so damn long, and this whole thing blew my mind. It literally blew my mind at how good this was, and it's not that hard. It's 4 videos and a bot that drives it all. Like, the setup on this is not that crazy. And I guess go cut your nails. Paul says Herc is using Segmate, Brian is using ManyChat. Which one should we use? I will give you the breakdown, guys. We started on ManyChat, okay? And Carl is a good friend of ours, and he showed us Segmate. And we tried it out. And I'll fully be honest with you, the difference between the two, ManyChat is quite a bit ahead of Segmate. Segmate's newer, ManyChat is smoother, it's better, but it's more expensive. Okay, you also have to pay per page with ManyChat that you're using. Janelle, can you come and grab the dog, please? Sorry, everyone. You have to pay per page with ManyChat, but you get a better feature set. With Segmate, you get unlimited pages, and the feature set is still there. It's not quite as pretty, but the core functionality of Segmate is still there. So it's kind of up to you guys. Do you want a more expensive product that's kind of nicer, or do you want a less expensive product that really, I think they're going to get there? They have a big, I mean, they're tackling a big business. ManyChat's a big business, and Segmate, they don't have the team that ManyChat has, but they've done a good job so far, and I'm doing fine with it, to be honest, guys. So if you'd rather save a few bucks, go with Segmate. If you want to go with all the bells and whistles and beautiful UIs and stuff, go with ManyChat. That's as simple as that. They're both good. They both work.
Yeah, Eric, I would agree with you. I also use Segmate as well. And, I met Carl a few years ago, and it's a great product in time. I wouldn't be surprised if it's feature to feature, and he's building the business to get there. So you can't lose. I mean, I think they're both products. I think the key, though, is less about what tool you use and more about the fact y'all use it, guys.
Yeah,
and even if you didn't use look, this is what I do in my agency, and this is kind of how we built the whole thing. But the reality is, just like Herc just showed with the results, you just have to do it. When you do this, you will add subscribers, you will add clients. 1 client a week It just adds up. I'm not here to make any kind of income claims. It doesn't have to be rocket science. A deal a week, I don't care if you have a full-time job. You can send out a few emails. You can emulate exactly what we're doing. You can grow your subscriber list in the bot. You can use our follow-up sequences. It's a deal a week, and that's what you're looking for.
For $27.
Hard to argue, man.
29, 29. I'm not, let's go see here. Let's go over there. Okay, this is the what you're gonna get, guys.
Update. Yeah.
Yeah, let me go really look. So this is the actual sales page, guys. We'll scroll down. it's less than 30. If you guys are kind of qualming over 27 or 29, I think you got bigger issues, but 28.94. Okay. But like I said, we're gonna basically, you guys pick this up. We'll give you more than that back in credits on Pixel Scout, which that's why we wanted to do this. It all works together so well. And I really think that the fact that Autopilot Agency being so focused on bots and especially templates really does fill a hole that we had. Let me go back into Pixel Scout here to show you guys. You guys know that we just released that retargeting video to everyone, and we put it in all your reports now by default. And on my bot training in Pixel Scout, let me view this report. I've got a couple of options here. So let's view this report. It's just a simple, you don't have a Facebook pixel. Well, what is a pixel? And then a bot. But what I didn't cover in that training really is what should you say in those bots, right? And that's why I think that Autopilot Agency is such a good product for you guys. Number one, it's so the pricing of it is so good. Number two, it takes you from this point, which is where I left off in the webinar. I showed you how to set this all up with a bot. I showed you how to set up the bots in that training. But now with Autopilot Agency, it'll show you what to say in the bots to help you guys with landing new clients and stuff like that. So it's just a really good piece that fits in our puzzle, and it's just a great price with a great bonus. So that's why we wanted to have the webinar. Come on, introduce you guys to Brian. I really liked your presentation, by the way, man. Yeah, you had some great stuff in there. So
yeah. Thank you guys.
We'll
I enjoyed that. I like how straight and to the point this, being on the call with you guys is. And I knew that about Todd, but Herc, it's kind of how I live my life, man. This is as good as it gets. For everybody who's here, I will tell you, from 2.5 decades of doing this, this is the straight scoop. It's not always what you want to hear, but it's the truth. And the truth sometimes is way more valuable than marketing spin. And if you implement the bot, and I don't care if you use my bot, mine's maybe a facilitator to get you there faster. But if you have a bot in your process, you will see some level of success. I mean, if I told you, I don't even want to tell you. I mean, guys, I'm looking for 10,000 bot clients globally. And we're doing a one-to-many strategy at our agency that we're hoping to then sell our company, Media Mash, again. And it sounds overwhelming, but I gotta be honest. When you see how easy it is, if you think back to the 90s, nobody had a website, right? Now everybody has a website, it's flooded. Now there's a lot of services that at one time were easy to capitalize on, and you can land clients like crazy. One thing I didn't really get into, and it's not applicable today, but you can also complement, if you're doing SEO today, you can complement as an add-on sale a bot for that business. And think about this. They now have a bot, and you're thinking, why the hell they want a bot, Brian? Well, it's the same reason you do. So as you're driving traffic, or their website is receiving more and more hits over time, you're now going to convert that unknown traffic, right? Way better than any form, any kind of lead form, right? Now you're going to convert them. They're going to join the messenger list, and it's going to happen each and every day. Oh, and by the way, you're going to charge the customer a recurring. And a lot of the work is being done by the customer. It is a beautiful thing. The customers I have with our bot product send me messages all the time. Brian, this is so cool. I love this. They are so excited about it. We have a lot of realtors, insurance, CPA, and contractors. Those are the main niches that we've been selling into. but guys, it is completely untapped. Todd, I was in London with Jay 2 weeks ago, and we were in I don't know what part of the city, near the Times Square kind of area, Piccadilly, near Piccadilly, and we were a couple streets away. Tons of businesses everywhere, right? And I said, Jay, look around, and we're having a beer. It was the end of the week. I said, look around. Every single one of these businesses, odds are extremely high that there's like 1 or 2 out of 100 that have a bot. And I said, it's unbelievable. And Jay does a lot of press release stuff. And I said, we can pair this with what you're doing. If you're doing lead gen or SEO, I do a lot of that myself. You can pair it together. You increase the value, and now you've protected yourself from the client saying they're not going to walk away. It's quantifiable, it's measurable, and at the end of the day, that's all they want. They just want to know that what they're doing is working. And now you're going to show it to them in another way, beyond a simple report. You're going to show them how they're building an asset. It's really slick. So if they're a service business, like a contractor, you know what? A lot of them, like HVAC, they're slow in the winter in the South. They're slow in the winter. So you know what happens? They lay off employees, their revenue's down. But now at their bot list, you know what they can do? They can sell service contracts, like monthly maintenance contracts. They can do that all winter long and smooth out their revenue. There are so many things. I don't want to go way off the reservation on this call, but I just get super excited because it's completely endless. It's an open opportunity. So, but Herc and Todd, thanks for letting me come on today with you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
There's one
for
comment
sure.
in here that I do want to do a small rant on. Very short. I'll keep it short.
Yeah,
I promise. Paul, I'm seeing you, with your what if questions, and I just answered you, but I do want to talk about what you said kind of publicly, because I think a lot of people feel how you do, and you're asking basically questions about, like, templates. Well, what if they do this, and what if they do that? I don't know how to respond, and every situation is going to be different. And what I want to say to you is, don't let fear stop you from taking action, because the best way to learn how to do something is to fail at it repeatedly. The more failures you get, the more you're going to learn. Like, I know a lot of people out there don't want to contact clients, and they don't want to set up bots because they're afraid that they're going to blow a deal, right? And you're like, I'm protecting myself, or I'm readying myself to be in a position where when a deal comes, no matter what happens, I'll be able to save the deal and get the sale. And if you continue to do that, and you continue to think that, you're going to lose out on more deals than you'll get by making continuous mistakes, because you don't learn by not taking action. You learn by taking action and making those failures. So it's okay to blow it with a client. It's okay to lose a client, because there's an unlimited sea of clients out there where when you blow it with one client and you didn't know what to say when they responded, well, you'll learn by going through and failing at it that you could take that lesson on to the next client. And even if you blow 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20, eventually you're going to understand people's mentalities. You're going to understand where you're blowing it, and you're going to be able to change those deals. So do not let what ifs get in the way of action, okay? The better way to learn is to take the action, to fail at it, blow the deal, and continually move on. See, my baby, he can't walk yet, but he's going to get it eventually. He's up there screaming right now because he can't walk. He's trying. He's going to get it. And he bangs his head pretty hard sometimes.
Right on. All right, guys. Any more questions that you may have, go ahead and pop them in now. We're probably about to close this up. We've got another meeting to get to in about 30 minutes, Herc. And I'm sure Brian's got some stuff to do. I wanted to also mention to all of you that have picked up this offer and want to collect our bonuses. It's just going to be inside of your Warrior Plus account. This is a Warrior Plus offer affiliate system and all that. So after you make your purchase, you log into Warrior Plus to download your product, get, all good information's in there, the support desk to Autopilot agencies in there. Also the bonus URL. You'll want to look for the bonus URL inside of your Warrior Plus account. Click that link. You'll hit our bonus page, and there will be, pay attention to what it says on the page.
I don't know if Todd dropped or if I dropped.
I hear you okay, Herc. I think it might have been Todd's audio.
I hear everybody else.
Okay. Well, what he was going to say, guys, is pay attention on the page. So go into your Warrior Plus account, okay? Grab your receipts from your purchase, because ultimately you may have up to 3. You'll have the $27 receipt, this receipt, and this receipt, depending on what you'd like to purchase. And then to claim your credits, Todd he just messaged me on his cell phone. He just lost power. When you guys go to claim your credits, you just have to put in your WSO ID, and it'll automatically apply the credits to your accounts for you. And if you don't have a Pixel Scout account, it'll ask you, there'll be a form right there for you guys that don't have a Pixel Scout to sign up to get the Pixel Scout account, and then we'll put the 30 credits in there for you. So both scenarios are covered on that bonus page as well. So that's how you guys will be able to collect your bonuses. And then, of course, if you do run into any issues beyond that, I'm going to type our support email. You guys should know it by now, but support@pixelscout.io. So here you go, guys. That's in the chat box. Go ahead and reach out to Alex or Tanya. Did that go through? Yeah, there you go. Reach out to Alex or Tanya, and they can help you through it. They're going to lead you back to that page because it automates adding these credits to your account. And by the way, somebody else asked, and I do want to answer this. These credits are non-expiring credits, guys. These will be good in your account until you use them up, okay? So other than that, I don't really see any more questions coming in. Dave John, this one might be for Brian. What are your thoughts on whether or not to build an LP, a landing page, or a website to help market the bots?
You know what, Dave, I don't use a landing page. I have a website, but my call to action out of my email or out of my Facebook ad is right to the bot. So I don't think you have to have it. The landing page, definitely not. If you have a website, I think it goes to credibility at some point in the process, Dave. But honestly, you're driving people. What I do, I can only speak to myself. What I do is I either get them to respond to me via email, or using Facebook, I either go direct to Messenger, right, with a Facebook ad, or sometimes one of our team will send 5, 10, 15 a day to a lot of realtors. We do this to their pages, and then when they respond, they're responding inside a Messenger, and then we route them right to our bot. So the goal for me is always to get somebody into the bot. So the value of a landing page is a little diminished. It's another point of breakage in my mind. And I know there's some amazing landing pages that convert like crazy, but you know what there's more of? Bad ones. There's more of pages that don't work. There are forms and tech that doesn't work right. The harder you make it, the likelihood that something will go wrong goes up. And that's just how it goes.
All right, guys, I think that's pretty much it for questions. I'll try and get the replay up for you guys fairly quickly, but Todd and I do have another meeting to get to, and now his power's out, and looks like the sky's clearing up a little bit on my end, so things are looking up. And so I would just want to say, everybody give Brian a big thank you for coming on and doing a great presentation on everything. Thank you, Brian, from myself as well. It's great to listen to you.
Thank you, Herc, for sure. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thanks so much for coming on, and I guess that's pretty much it. One last thing. The whole offer, guys, the timer is right here on the page. We got 1 day, 9 hours, 32 minutes left on this, and then this offer does close. So go find $27 if you don't have it, if you want to grab this. It's going away. So our bonus packages and the Autopilot agency offer is going away in less than 48 hours. So there's the page, there's the timer, everything you need should be there. Otherwise, reach out to support, and if we don't see you again, have a great weekend, everybody.